We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
At the 26-yard line.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Here's Allen to throw it. Buying time to his left. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Hey, 18.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
On third and goal, Trubisky. He can run for touchdown, Bears. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. Third down here.
10 yards to go.
97, 80. Half. We own them. 97.
From the gun, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, ball.
From the 22, Trubisky looking deep for Gabriel. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On third down, Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. And it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
On 1st down, it's Montgomery. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Six 0 our score after 1. On 2nd down now, Meadows, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown of the new season, as the Bears push further out in front.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
All 52. 58, right over there.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Alert, 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 alert. Rush in, rush in. Alert, 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 alert. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
They run, Montgomery. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster, and he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Stay with your man.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 79 yards as the Bears push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Good. 180. Check 55 to Mike. Here we go.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Here we go again. Here we go again. He's
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 45-yard line.
Stop! 180! I'm coming. Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Hey, 18.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Trubisky. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
I'm coming after you.
To throw, it's Allen. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Akeem Hicks in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
25, check 25, check 25.
On first down, Trubisky. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The toss play to Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Check. Move.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
On 2nd and 12, Allen, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, Montgomery takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Come on. Back. Alert. He's coming, double up.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
This is taken at the 18. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Going for the deep ball. It got his man complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Down 80. Check back.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 41, Allen. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
X3. 2X.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And it's 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. He sets to fire deep. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Being chased out left. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen, he'll take a shot and caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Now Allen operating from the gun toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Check 13. Check 13. Go, go, go. Mike 55. Mike. Ran. I need some therapy after this. Run.
Now Trubisky to throw. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. And we've got them now.
It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Bears push further out in front.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he takes us all the way down to the Bears' 35-yard line. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But I
like where we're going with this. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Bears, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
you tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Pay to kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Pay to kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in. Finish him. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum, all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue One, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. What state prop you looking bleak now? I was home to sleep designing sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak they listen. Couldn't find it so she fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true cause you look like the opposition. Run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here. taking over